welcome back to Kitchen WOD. As you can see, I am in a kitchen this week, but I am not in my kitchen, which is a great time for me to talk about how to keep your nutrition in check while you are traveling. With the holidays coming up, chances are that a lot of you will be traveling individually or with family. There might come times that you're also traveling for work and having to stay in a motel and things like that. So I want to talk about how to not use that as an excuse to eat poorly, but how to keep your nutrition in check and how to feel good while you're traveling. So first thing is it's going to take planning, just like it does when you're at home. Hopefully at this point in time you're planning meals and things like that, trying to plan what you're making have available for breakfast and for lunches and also for suppers as well. So likewise, when you're traveling, it will take some planning. First thing that I like to do is find a grocery store, stop there and get a few staple items. Some of the staple items that I got this time around, I got some fresh vegetables. I got some cucumbers, some celery that was pre-cut, so I paid quite a bit more, but I was traveling, so that was okay. Some mini cucumbers. I got a few apples, and then I also got some lean turkey and quite a few containers of plain Greek yogurt. So what I found is that my motel, though it did offer breakfast, didn't offer a very good breakfast. So the only thing really that I would eat at the breakfast was boiled eggs and fruit. So I went ahead and took advantage of that, grabbed a few extra boiled eggs for lunches and things like that. Had a little bit of fruit in the morning along with a couple eggs. And then for lunch, had some of the leftover eggs, or went ahead and had some of the Greek yogurt along with some fruit. Now, it took a little bit of planning, but I have a fridge, as you see here behind me, and most motels nowadays do have a fridge. A lot of times they even have a microwave and a coffee machine, which is excellent for people who are heavily dependent on their morning coffee. But while I was traveling, I did eat out for supper pretty much every single night. However, you can really make some pretty good choices when you're eating out as well. So as we talked about previously, is prioritizing your need for protein. So despite if you are vegan or you're vegetarian or you eat a relatively mainstream diet, you really should be prioritizing your meals around protein and a fresh vegetable source. So we want to think about limiting the refined carbohydrates like the white flours, so anything with tortillas or buns or bread or things like that. Go ahead and pass on that bread. Have a salad with your meal instead if you're going to a nicer sit-down restaurant. If you're having soup, look for soups that are a clear broth versus something creamy, like a clam chowder, if you're in Boston, for example. Go ahead and pass on that bread. Have the salad. That gives you a few extra vegetables. When you're looking at your main meal, go ahead and look for some kind of decent protein source. If you're at a steakhouse, it's pretty easy. Have a steak. If you're at a burger chain, you can always have a burger without the bun. Pretty much every restaurant, including any fast food restaurant, now has salads as well. Go ahead and just watch your dressing intake on that and make sure that your meat is grilled, not fried. So you can have a chicken salad. Just make sure that chicken isn't fried, but that it's grilled instead. Now, a topic that I've talked a fair amount about is eating for joy. You're traveling. If you're on vacation or if you're working really long hours, whatever it may be, don't be afraid to go ahead and have that dessert. If you are going out with some clients and they all order beer and you happen to like beer, go ahead and have a beer. If it makes you feel good, if you feel good after you have it, and if you are doing that on occasion, that's fine. I call that eating for joy. That's perfectly acceptable, as long as you feel okay after you have it. So in summary, some things to think about when you're traveling for work and when you're staying in motels. Go ahead and find a grocery store. Mainly stock up on some decent protein sources and some fresh vegetables. Those are things that are hard to find sometimes when you're traveling and eating out. Go ahead and eat those for your breakfast and your lunches. It's going to save you money, but also it's just a lot more convenient than trying to run out for breakfast and trying to run out during lunch and things like that, especially if you're working longer hours while you're traveling. For those supper times, go ahead and choose a decent protein source. Make sure that you have some vegetables on the side as well. That might be a side salad that you have, or if you have an option of sides, go ahead and choose that vegetable. The thing is, when you're traveling, may just be a couple days, but if you travel more regularly, it really becomes part of your lifestyle. And you need to prioritize your nutrition when you're traveling, because you'll feel better, you'll act better, you'll sleep better, and hopefully you'll come home to your family and your loved ones feeling a lot better too. So I hope you enjoyed this segment on traveling and nutrition from my remote Boston kitchen. So thanks for listening.